Title 42, that was the Trump policy. Biden's going to end it. And frankly, it could produce as much as 2 million more illegal immigrants into this country by ending that policy. Joining us now to talk about it, great friend Stephen Miller, former White House senior policy advisor and founder of America First Legal. So they're going to take away Title 42. President Trump and our administration used that. I mean, it dovetailed with COVID. It was a safety precaution. It was a health precaution, but it also helped with the border issue. And they're going to blow it up, Steve. They're going to blow it up. To what avail? What's this going to mean?
Well, Title 42 is the single most effective border security tool that has ever been put into place. Now, it is a public health tool that is 100% true, but in its practical effect, nothing did more in 2020 to get us to a completely sealed, completely secure, completely defended border. Since taking office, Joe Biden has dismantled one by one every single successful policy. Remain in Mexico, gone. Expedited removal, gone. Safe third agreements, gone. Rapid deportation flights out of Border Patrol stations, gone. All gone. ICE detention, gone. You name it, Larry. This is the last scrap. This is the last thing left. They've already denuded it a lot, but they're still using it some. And when this is gone, there will be nothing left. Nothing. Everyone will get in. 2 million? That's not the ceiling, Larry. That's the floor of what we're looking at.
I mean, so what do they say? I mean, they've been silent on this. There's been some talk about DHS, and Mayorkas trying to dodge it. The morale, I mean, even the budget, by the way, did great damage to the whole border story, customs agents, ICE agents, and so forth. I mean, they're just openly defending free borders. No sovereign rights, just everybody can come over who can come over.
They're doing it because they believe they can get away with it. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. They are behaving like a rogue government that thinks they can dismantle the border without any consequence whatsoever. Let me give you a hypothetical to illustrate the point. Is there any universe where the director of national intelligence would hold a press conference and say, effective immediately, I am ending all U.S. cyber defenses? No, that would never happen. That person would be impeached. They'd be unemployable. They could never get a job in red America, blue America, any part of America. That'd be the end of their career. That's what Mayorkas did to our border. His job is to stop people from coming illegally. And he has, in effect, made it the U.S. policy that anyone can get in illegally. But he believes and he knows that he can get away with it. It's going to be the job of a Republican Congress to send a message through action, not only to this administration, but to all future administrations, that the consequences for this lawlessness will indeed be severe.
Can I just raise one other one? I mean, this is all hard to believe, but they're negotiating with Russia, by the way, redoing the Iranian nuclear deal. You know this. But the latest headlines is, so they're going to declassify the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, bunch of killers and terrorists. They're going to declassify them into non-terrorists. And some people are writing that could allow, because they're not terrorists, these Iranians could come to the United States. I mean, we have open borders anyway, so they can come in here, no problem. What you make of that? I mean, it may not be as dumb, but it's pretty dumb.
It is exceptionally stupid and malicious. President Trump sanctioned the Islamic Revolutionary Guard because not only were they a profoundly destabilizing force in the region, he didn't only designate them as terrorists because of what they were doing to other countries, but because they were helping to kill Americans on the battlefield. It is well known, well established that Iran was engaged indirectly and directly in supporting people killing Americans. This is unthinkable to me. And then you add on top of that the fact, to your point, that any terrorist from Iran can simply waltz across the border like it's nothing, like you're just walking into brunch on a Sunday afternoon in Central Park. I mean, this is madness, Larry.
I mean, I don't think they necessarily need to be declassified because they can come up through the southern border willy-nilly. But I'm just saying it doesn't help that we're declassifying them. I mean, it's like...
No, but it's all part of the same mindset is the point, Larry. The point is that there's no thought whatsoever about how their ideology is affecting the safety and lives of Americans. Yeah. So in Iran, they're accommodating terrorism, which will make Americans massively less safe and put Iran on the path to a nuclear weapon. Now, ask yourself this, Larry. Who looks at the world today and says, you know what we need? We need a theocratic state with a nuclear weapon. That'll really stabilize things.
Yeah. John Kerry, just to answer your question. Steve Miller, thank you, buddy. We will talk soon. Appreciate your inputs, as always.